All right, let's get right into it, because this is something we have all felt. You know that project, that goal, that one thing you know you need to do, but you just can't start. Today, we are going to break down that universal fear of starting and find the simple secret to finally getting over it. This is the big one, isn't it? It's the first thought that just pops into your head, this huge, paralyzing question, the fear that you'll pour all this effort into something only for it to not work out. Man, it just slams the brakes on our ambitions. And then, right on the heels of that first fear comes this one, the fear of what other people will think. You know, putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, and then just getting hit with criticism. And honestly, for a lot of us, that's even scarier than failing. And here's the third part of that procrastination trap, the fear that you'll run out of steam, that you'll leave it half done, and pretty much prove all those other fears right. So, when all these thoughts are swirling around, what do? Well, you wait. You tell yourself, oh, I'll start tomorrow. Or next week is the perfect time. You file that big idea away in the someday folder, which, let's be honest, is where great ideas go to die. And you just stay stuck. But here is the thing that we almost always miss. This whole state of waiting, of not doing anything, it has its own really heavy cost. And the truth is, it's usually way worse than the work itself. You feel that, right? That low-grade anxiety, that little weight in your chest when you think about the thing you're putting off, that's your brain absolutely hating an open loop. It's this weird psychological quirk where our minds get totally fixated on unfinished tasks, and that creates this constant nagging stress that is so much more draining than just starting. Now, what's so wild is the total disconnect you see here. Your brain, trying to protect you from maybe failing or feeling uncomfortable, blows the task up into this gigantic, impossible monster. But what is it in reality? It's almost always just one small, manageable step. And this brings us to this huge myth that keeps so many of us trapped. We have this idea that we need to wait for some lightning bolt of inspiration before we can even think about starting. We're all so guilty of this, right? We sit around waiting for the right mood to hit, waiting for that perfect, magical spark of motivation to just fall out of the sky and get us going. But here's the truth. What if we have this whole thing completely backward? What if waiting for motivation is the one thing that guarantees it will never, ever show up? See, you don't actually need motivation. What you need is momentum. Momentum isn't the cause of action, it's the result of it. It's that powerful force that you can only generate after you take that very first step. Okay, let's dig into that, because this is where the solution is. Think about it less like psychology and more like, well, simple physics. An object in motion stays in motion. You just have to give it that first little push. This right here, this is the mantra. You should write it down, memorize it, whatever you have to do. Imperfect action, even if it's messy, clumsy, or a little bit wrong, is a million times more valuable than perfectly planning to do absolutely nothing. And this just reframes the whole thing. The goal isn't to finish the entire project right away. The real goal is just to start. The second you take that one tiny step, you've broken the inertia. You've already won the hardest fight. So how do we actually do this? Like right now, today? Well, it's all about making that first step so small, so laughably easy that your brain doesn't even have a chance to complain. Here it is, the entire game plan in 3 simple steps. First, you find the absolute smallest, tiniest action you can possibly take. Second, you just do it, and you don't worry about being perfect. And third, you realize you've already succeeded. You've won. And when I say small, I mean microscopic. Don't think I have to write a chapter. No, think I'll write 1 sentence. Don't think I have to go to the gym. Just do 1 push-up. Not go for a run, just take 1 step out the front door. That's it. That's the start. So this is the big takeaway. Stop waiting. Feeling ready is a myth. Inspiration, that comes from action. It's not something you need before you act. The only thing you have to do right now is move. So that really just leaves us with one question. What is that for you? What is the one tiny, imperfect step you can take the second this is over to get your own momentum going? Don't just think about it, go and do it.